NFL cutdown day is here. It is Tuesday, August the 26th. On the brink of, yesterday we had the Terry McLaurin information. Terry McLaurin signed his extension. Roster cuts are coming in left to right. By the time we get to this evening, it's going to be down to a 53-man roster. Lots to discuss. We got our guy, Lake Lewis Jr. on the show. Let's get to it. Per usual, like we do on Tuesdays during the regular season, NFL insider Lake Lewis Jr. is joining the show. How you doing today, big dog?
Hey, I'm good, man. What's up with you?
I'm good, man. I'm lovely. We finally got this Terry news out of our system, and we could talk mostly football going forward, Lake.
Yes, finally, right? So this is good, man. They get their most dynamic offensive weapon outside of Jayden back on the field. And now it's go time. I mean, I think the Super Bowl expectations and aspirations are real now. So that's what they're gearing for.
Yeah, we've talked about it 1,000 times. I almost called it on my original contract prediction. I said 3 for 95. It ended up being 3 for 96. But the key information here is that we have not seen what that guarantee is. Seeing that we saw the agent's number first, we're going to get the guarantee later. I imagine it's something that Adam Peters and company are proud of.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a mutually accepted contract. I think for Terry to get the contract is big. I think for Adam Peters to get this one with his first go around with a face of a franchise type contract. I mean, outside of Jayden, Terry is the second most important commander. I think everyone would agree with that. But in these situations, you want to set a precedent. You know what I mean? Yep. If you're him, you don't want something to go sour where it gets to the point where other players are like, you know what, I'm going to do the same thing. At the end of the day, they had to take care of Terry. I think we all agree with that. It was just a matter of, what was that number going to be? And was it going to be something that would hamper the team going forward? Because they do have other players they have to sign. But, for me as a media person, I'm happy that Terry's got the contract. And, contrary to what some people think out there, I don't want to cover a losing team. I want to cover a team that has a chance for me to be in Northern California in February. And that's where I plan on being now with Terry being back in the fold.
And that's where we should all strive to be in 2026 because things are different in the building now. And now that the Terry contract saga has reached a conclusion, for one, are we getting a Terry McLaurin press conference? I know we're supposed to hear from Quinn and Peters tomorrow. Is Terry talking to the media?
Yeah, he's talking to us after practice. Yep. So we'll be there. And originally they were trying to set it up for today, and he said that he didn't want something in the auditorium. He didn't want like a big one. So I guess he's just trying to keep his head down and play ball. So it'll be tomorrow after Dan and Adam speak to us as far as the cuts and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I remember the speech Terry gave going into the Detroit Lions playoff game about who are you when all the money dries up and you just got your name and your reputation. I promise you, Terry, the money is never drying up on your end. You've got 2 generational bags. I think the McLaurins are set for life at this point, Lake.
Yes, sir. I mean, he absolutely is. His families, they're set up. They're good to go. And again, man, to everybody that's out there that drew lines in the sand and picked Terry over Adam and Adam over Terry, and I kept saying over and over, we can't do that, man. We can't. We have to make sure that at the end of the day, you support both parties in this. And said over and over, it was going to get done. It was just a matter of when it was going to get done. But when I remember you talking to me and you were like, are they going to trade him? I was absolutely not. That's not even a consideration. So now it's done and it's go time, man. It's time to put your head down and let's just try to get to the Super Bowl because that's what the goal is here. It's not just to be good. It's to win the Super Bowl. And they weren't going to do that unless they had 17 back. And now he's back. So let's go.
Yeah, all it took was watching Chris Moore and company catch passes from Jayden in the preseason to say, yeah, we need Noah Brown and Terry McLaurin on the field, because even though Jayden still manages to look sharp in practice almost every day, we need our guys out there to get going. So the next question immediately goes to, how fast does this ramp up period go? We've heard about secret workouts in the bubble between Jayden and Terry. How soon can they get him back to full go and not on a pitch count? Because there's a game next week late.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing you know about Terry is that he was keeping shape. It's different being in just normal shape, and being in football shape, having your pads and all that stuff on. So I think the fact that he's a pro, that when I mean that, like he's a star, I think he'll be fine. I think, give him a week, he'll be fine. But the fortunate thing is that because they have other weapons now for Terry and Jayden to surround those guys with, they don't need him to be, every play, every down in order to have a chance to win. I think they'll be okay, working him in. But clearly he's starting and he's going to be a focal point of the offense from day one. But, Debo can kind of help him transition to that. Jalen Lane can help him, the new running back room. And then, of course, number 5 will take a lot of pressure off everyone.
Yep, number 5. Every time we start talking about it, like, it's nice when training camp takes place because we can touch on everything on the team. We don't gotta panic. I don't even really have to ask you about Jayden because it's what he does, man. Every time we hear Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury and them come out and talk about him, I read a story about how Ben Sinnott ran a corner route and Jayden didn't like the depth of it. And Jayden's running up to him and coaching him on where he likes to have the ball ready for him. And it changed his perspective of route running. And I'm like, oh, we getting vocal, comfortable in where he is, Jayden Daniels, in year 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and speaking of that corner route, there was a play in practice last week where he threw a deep corner route to Debo, who was covered by 2 defenders, Mikey, and if I'm not mistaken, Trey. And there was no way that ball was getting in there. The ball hit Debo in the chest, corner out, back of the end zone from 35, 40 out.
That's absurd.
Debo dropped it. But to fairness to Debo, he was like,
he wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, that's what he was like. He had no idea. And everyone around was just like, did you see the pass? Like, only certain talents can make a throw like that. So, man, I'm telling you, I'm excited. I'm uber excited now that we're gonna really see them be able to line up against the Eagles full tilt and see what's up. So I'm ready for it.
Do you think there are 20 players in the NFL better than Jayden Daniels right now?
No, absolutely. The only reason he landed at 21 on the list was because
seniority.
Yeah, players were like, listen, man, this Joker cold, but we can't put him in the top 20 just yet. So he lands at 21. That's not by coincidence, man. So that's not by coincidence. They just could not give a guy that hasn't taken a snap in his second year yet top 20 status, but we know he's a top 20 player. He's a top 5 quarterback. That tells you everything right there.
Right. We didn't have to lie to kick it, y'all. Y'all know that Jayden is already not only top 20, that's a top 5 quarterback in this NFL, but the players list, it gets a little janky. I'm pretty sure some of the other teams have more players voting than Washington and stuff like that, because Jared Goff should not be over Jalen Hurts and Jayden Daniels. And Jared Goff has not been listed yet, so he's going to probably get a top 15 finish on the countdown this year, but we already know what it is for real. Jayden is not the 21st best player in the league, but the fact that he's getting this type of love after one season, I see no reason why he's not top 3 in MVP voting in 2025. Like,
I don't see any reason why he's not the MVP winner.
Yes.
That's where I'm going, because I have this team going to the Super Bowl. I've said it. I keep saying it. Baltimore, Washington, Super Bowl in Santa Clara. So if that's the case, Lamar's going to be right back up in the thick of MVP. He should have won it last year, in my opinion.
He was the MVP. It was not Josh Allen.
Mr. Josh Allen, he's a great player, but Lamar should have got it. They just were getting, MVP fatigue.
Politics.
It was MVP fatigue. So, okay, if Baltimore's in the Super Bowl, then clearly Lamar's right back in the top 2 or 3 himself running again. But I think Jayden has that cachet right now, and I think he's got the attention of the league. He's got the attention of the players, the fans. He's got the attention of the world because we're going to be playing over there, in Madrid in November. So if they can duplicate the success they had last year and get, as far as, say, an NFC championship game, he clearly will be a front runner for the MVP. If they were to make it to the Super Bowl, I know the vote will be in by that time. But if they're humming like that, there's no reason for me to believe that Jayden can't be the MVP.
I believe in it as well. And a big part of Jayden winning the MVP is getting his number 1 wide receiver back. Terry McLaurin inked a 3-year, $96 million contract, $30 million sign-in bonus guarantee. Still TBD at this point on Tuesday afternoon, but I don't need to know. Y'all can keep that between y'all and Buddy Baker at the end of the day. And shout out to Terry's agent, Buddy Baker, man. My boy upgrading from a Honda Accord now that he got Terry this bag, man. I like to mess around with Buddy Baker, man.
Buddy was under some duress,
Yeah.
the way things were being handled and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I mean, even if someone were to say, well, Terry didn't get all the money he wanted, bro, trust me, that's a lot of money. And that still puts him in the top 5, top 6 as far as paid receivers. So I don't have a problem with it. I just wanted to see how it all played out. That was the key thing for me. Is this going to get done in the regular season? Is Terry going to be playing this year, disgruntled without a contract? Because, yesterday would have been the day fines kicked in. So it got done. And so now who cares now? Let's just go. Let's just play football. Because honestly, I hated having to talk about this, during camp. I despised it. Because that was the only story that was out there from a negative standpoint. And you have to understand some media that's not part of this, they'll get a hold of stuff and just turn it into something else. And then we got to play cleanup behind it. So now it's just all football, and that's what we want.
And any way you try to stack it up, shape it, or mold it, it does become a distraction when every other question asked to every player on the team is about a teammate's contract situation. Like, put that in layman's terms. Can you imagine being at the office and everybody there keep asking you about someone asking for a raise? Like, that shit would be weird, right?
It would. And then on top of that, you can't speak about somebody's money. And I know people were like saying to me, you messing with his money. I'm media. I'm reporting to you what's going on, but I don't have any say on what somebody's going to get or what they're not going to get. I just think at the end of the day, we just wanted to get it done. That's all I cared about. So now it's done, and we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Yep, I'm going to get to some of these questions as we transition out of the Terry contract thing to today is roster cutdown day, Lake. And I feel like, am I tripping to feel like this is the easiest Washington Commanders cut to 53 we've seen in a very long time?
Man, it's funny you say that because I think it's been kind of hard, actually.
Really?
A couple of my colleagues, we had a little fun thing. We went over the sheet the other day, and then we were like supposed to turn it in as far as ourselves. And people were like, this is actually turning out to be harder than I thought.
Really?
Example, Cleveland Farrell. I know people were like, he didn't do much, but they liked him quite a bit. I know that.
Oh, yeah, they love him.
Well, he got cut.
I know. Seeing that surprised the hell out of me because I put him there. I was like, I don't think he should be there, but they love him.
Yeah, they love him. They love the fact that he can establish an edge. Like, he's a really good run defender. But when you're not available, and there's other guys breathing down your neck for playing time, I mean, they're loaded, man. Like that's the thing. Like, you didn't see much during preseason, and I get it. And fans are like, man, our backups don't look good. Bro, you have to understand, they didn't play anybody. They really didn't. And they had to play some guys, and the guys that they played, like the Johnny Newtons of the world, trust me, he's good. They just were trying him in different situations, just so that they could see what else somebody could do, something that they probably won't be asked to do. So yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a couple more surprises. I mean, Cleveland Farrell is a surprise to me. I know it's not a big name, but I know how Adam likes him, and I know Dan liked him as well. So for them to move on from him tells you that there's some other folks that they really felt like were having stellar camps.
I think the thing that becomes possibly difficult when it comes to breaking down this roster is juggling which positions you want to keep a surplus at and which positions you want to keep at a lighter number. Do we keep 5 receivers but keep 4 running backs? That type of thing makes the decision hard. But I think player-wise, I think for the most part, we know who's making the team, Lake.
Yeah, I think the one position, I think they're keeping 4. But I would not be surprised if they went with 3 tight ends. I wouldn't be surprised. But I think Colson Yankoff makes the team. I do. I truly believe that. But if he didn't, and they said they would put him on a practice squad, but they were going to keep 3 tight ends, that's a strategic thing to be able to keep a body somewhere else. You know, are you going to keep 5 cornerbacks? And I know that's the question that's up in your chat there.
Yep.
I don't know if maybe Noah requested it, but if he did, it wouldn't surprise me just from the standpoint that he's got 4 really good cornerbacks in front of him.
Sure
Where's he gonna play? That's the question. And then you have to say a guy like Will Harris can also move from safety to corner at times
if needed.
Versatile. So I could see where Noah might. I'm not saying he did request a trade, but I could see if he did, why he would.
Yep, I can see it. Appreciate your video channel for the $5 super chat donation. Do we think Noah I might have requested a trade? He's 25 in a contract year, being I'll tell you what. Noah I was the hardest working player in Ashburn that dude had a great camp, and they had him playing like 10 quarters deep in the preseason, and that could be by design.
He was gassed. And I'm glad you brought that up, because even I was noticing it like, damn, he's not coming out at all.
Give him a break. And I understand they didn't want to put Carlin Vigors out there too much, but damn.
Yeah. Oh, Nora was like an Iron Man this preseason. So
he was.
There's no doubt about that. That's a good one right there. Good call.
That is a very good call. And then today we hear that he's being shopped. 25-year-old player. I would like to keep Noah because I like having the depth of 2 versatile veterans who could start if needed to, but do not need to be relied upon to start behind Amos Lattimore and St. Ristil. And with Lattimore's injury history, I would like to have Noah and Marshawn on the roster, but a part of being a good general manager is having the foresight to get value for players, especially non-starters, when it exists. So Adam Peters being the guy that he is, he's pretty thorough. I can see why they're testing the markets and the water to see if there's a pick out there available for them.
Yeah, and I think Washington's in a different position now. They're in a unique situation where in years past, they were the team that wasn't good looking for players from other teams that were good. Washington went to the NFC Championship game last year, so people clearly look at it like hell of a coaching job, hell of a front office setup, and then, you know, stars like Jayden and Terry and guys like that had those great years. But I think now people are looking at Washington like they must have some talent on that team to be able to turn it around so fast. So maybe we'll look at some guys that Washington's thinking about releasing or looking into maybe moving, you know, for some draft capital. And if you're Washington, look, you got rid of Brian Robinson because of the young guys in the backfield now, you know, the Chris Rodriguez and Bill Krosky-Merritt's of the world. So, you know, the fact that they even got a 6th rounder from San Fran, I took it. I thought it was okay because you knew that Brian was going to get released if he wasn't traded. So for them to walk away with a 6 was smart. So if you can get something for Noah, if he doesn't want to be here, I think you could get a 5th or a 6th for Noah. I believe that.
And any chance that we have to replace some of the draft picks that we lost, because we're without a 2nd and a 4th in the 2026 draft because of the Laramie Tunsil trade. So, you know, if you can get something back, you know, the 6 for Brian Robinson was huge. For people who don't understand how this value thing works, Joe Mixon's a considerably better running back. He went for a 7th round pick in 2024, a 7th round pick, the 224th pick in the draft, us getting a 6th for a guy we were going to release in a few days. That was good stuff. And we were going going to transition into the B-Rob conversation next. Diamond Glare Entertainment, I appreciate you for the $5 super chat donation. Do y'all really believe Jayden and Terry ain't been practicing together? You'd have to be deaf, dumb, and blind. Hell, Commanders. Yeah, we know for sure that was the case. And I was glad that Quinn came out and told Diana, like, yeah, they've been getting work in together.
Of course they have. I mean, listen, Terry wasn't just in the building sitting down. He literally had to be doing something. And that's why I'm saying there was, throughout everything that happened, I never got a sense of panic from any of the players. Like, I'm sure you saw the video of me talking with Jayden and Sean, Mikey, and Jeremy practice last week. I mean, there was never a sense of panic. They still joking, still, lighthearted, but working hard on the field. So I think everyone knew Terry was going to come back and get in there. But I think because of that, that's probably why they were working out, because they knew they were going to come and ramp up.
Oh, yeah, man. Duncan Wright, I appreciate you. Duncan Wright, a.k.a. Drunken Wright. He may be a Philadelphia Eagles fan, but he is a Day One channel member and subscriber, man. Appreciate him. But the Brian Robinson situation, that shit came and went almost overnight. Late. We heard the team was shopping him. They got into it. He wasn't there for preseason game number 2, and now he is a San Francisco 49er. That played out pretty quickly. What were your thoughts on how that transpired?
Yeah, I figured something was coming sooner than later. It was some bizarre stuff going on there, and I think that Dan and guys just made a decision, like, that we gotta do something here, and it doesn't hurt when you have a youngster who's every time he gets the ball, it's just something happens with it. He's decisive. And you and I have been talking about this for the last year, almost 2 years, that we wanted to see Chris Rodriguez get more opportunities, because every time he did get opportunities, he took advantage of it. So I feel like between those two guys, they felt like they could get more combined from those two guys than what they could get from B-Rob in general. And, oh, by the way, for everyone out there, remember this. That money they freed up from B-Rob, even though they're paying San Fran basically to take him on, they still freed up some money, though. And that money went where? To
Terry. 17.
Exactly.
Yeah, B-Rob is no longer part of the running back room here. I think we're going to get a much heavier dose of Austin Ekeler than people realize, too. Him not being healthy, it affected the offense at certain times, especially when Jayden was playing with the broken ribs. Austin Ekeler is a huge part of this offense in the pass game and in the run game. Shit, he was the entire screen game for a certain part of the year, and we stopped going to the screen because we didn't really have no one else to give it to. Now, Bill Krosky, Merritt, Austin Ekeler. I imagine that's your 1A, 1B running back in this room, right?
Well, I don't think they have a one, to be honest.
Okay. Just committee.
Yes, it's clearly by committee. At least the first couple of weeks is going to be by committee.
Okay.
And if someone emerges, like really, and I think they're all hoping it's Bill, but if someone emerges, then you'll go there. But I think right now they feel like with Cliff's offense, they have so many variables, so many different strategies that they can hit you with now. And if you want speed, then you got Bill. If you want, more of a zone blocking type setup, you got Bill. But if you want that sledgehammer to come at you, then obviously you've got Chris. And then if you kind of want to mix it up and fool people with the personnel on the field, and then you can throw a screen or something, and you could do that with Austin. I would venture to say this. I think a lot of the screen passes this year are going to be going to Debo and Jalen Lane.
Please.
Yeah, so I don't think it's onus on Austin, because they understand. They understand those head injuries are a thing, man. It is what it is. So you don't want to put him in too much harm's way. You do want to get him in open spaces where he can catch the ball out the backfield. But I think you're gonna see Jalen and Debo get the bulk of those bubble screens.
Like, speak to the fans who are flummoxed and a little bit perplexed by the fact that they're putting this much confidence in a 7th round pick at the running back position. Bill came out and did what he needed to do this summer and spring, didn't he?
He absolutely did, and I can safely tell people, had he played his last year at Arizona, he would not have been a 7th-round pick. He would
at
have,
all.
at worst, would have been a 5th-round pick, but probably realistically would have been a 4th-round pick. That's what I'm thinking. You're looking at a 4th-round running back. And 4th-round running backs in today's NFL get opportunities to start. So he did what he was supposed to do. The one thing that I like about him is after that New England game, I was talking with him in the locker room, and he just wasn't smiling. He wasn't happy. And I'm like, bro, I just talked to Dan, literally. And he said he thought you did well. And he's like shaking his head. And he said, yeah, I'm always going to be hard on myself because he said, I want to be the best. I want to be the best at what I do. So I'm always going to be hard on myself. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, yeah, man. And I mean, he was humble about it too. And that's the other thing about him. He smiles. He's friendly. He's a good kid, man. He really is. And I know they're super high on him.
Yeah, he seems like he's all ball. And, you know, when these players hold themselves to high standards, just know as a fan, you can do the same. We don't have to sit here and lie about what our eyes see. We're allowed to hold players accountable for what they put out on the football field.
Yeah.
You know, just just had to put that out there because sometimes like me and Lake have an objective conversation and y'all kick our backs and you're haters, you hate Terry, you hate this guy. No, we're just talking about what happened on the field on Sunday, man. We can keep it a buck on here, man.
Man, if I'm hating somebody, he's not gonna leave my show off in my video, in my intro.
Right.
If I'm hating somebody, then I'm in the wrong business because I'm trying to cover a winner. And having that man back on the field guarantees that I'm going to be covering a winner this year, and hopefully a Super Bowl winner. So, yeah, you know, listen, man, you know, there's always people out there that are gonna rain on your parade, and they too happy, so they gotta make sure you're miserable like them. That's not me. So you can go somewhere else with that.
But so we're keeping 4 running backs for sure. We talked about some of the positions Washington is cutting down. Wide receiver. We know who the 5 main characters of the room are: Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, Jalen Lane, Luke McCaffrey, Noah Brown. Before we get into the rest of this wide receiver room, I saw Noah Brown out there running routes on Saturday afternoon. I've never seen Noah Brown look that fast in my life. I had to make sure no one had the video on fast forward. I know he's been on the side field all summer. We've got relatively no updates on him. Is Noah Brown going to be good to go next week, Lake?
Absolutely. And see, we can't report on things like that. You know, like one thing the new regime is set up is you don't talk about a guy who's injured or a guy who's recovering from injury. But I can safely say this football team is going to line up against the Giants relatively healthy. And I don't want to say all the way healthy because, you know, Sam probably won't play week 1, but he'll be back sooner than later. Trust me on that one too. So they're going to come into the season healthy. And I think this was very strategic and it was smart from the organization to not put guys in harm's way. Get them ready for when it matters because we're talking about veterans here. Look, Bills even had the black shirt on in practice.
No contact.
I'm saying, man. So they're and he's a rookie with everything to prove, but they want to make sure they know what they see and they want to make sure that they give these guys opportunities to be successful and be at their best when it matters and going up against what should be a really good Giants defense.
Yeah, man. And that front looks pretty good. And we're going to get into more detail about that next week because, you know, me and Lake are going to do weekly content together during the season, just like them Victory Tuesdays was hitting different last year, man. I'm not going to hold you.
Yeah, I know every week you kept saying, man, are you really saying we're going to get another one? And we're like, yeah, man, like got to 12 of them. So I was wrong in the last one because I did think they were going into Philly and winning. I was terribly wrong about that one.
Oh man, it'd be like that sometime, man. And we were feeling our championship meet. It was a dream. This team ain't been there in so long, but it won't be the last time we get there for sure. But the wide receiver room, to me, it feels like they need to keep 5. And if there's a 6th receiver in the room, they may not be in the building at the moment. I'm seeing guys get cut. The Trey Palmers, Malachi Corleys of the world. There are some guys out, Mecole Hardman. There are guys out there being released. Do you think Washington still keeps 6 receivers? Do you think Jakori Brooks did enough this summer to potentially get a roster spot, or are they going to stash him on the practice squad?
I don't think you can stash him on the practice squad. He's a big body, meaning that he's 6'3". I think they have him listed like 190, 195. I don't know if he's that heavy of a receiver. I would probably say maybe 190. Okay. But I'm telling you, man, I think that he's going to be a good football player. And that's my surprise guy that I think sneaks in as the 6th receiver. I believe Luke 5, Jakori is 6. And I think because Terry is back now, Jakori's the one that benefits the most from it, because if Terry wasn't there, you could not go into the season with 2 rookie receivers and a second-year rookie receiver and Luke McCaffrey that's still trying to find his way. It just wouldn't work. But with Terry back, and now you look at your first 4 of Terry, Debo, Jalen Lane, and Noah Brown, it gives your 5th and 6th, if they're projects, so to speak, or guys that you're still trying to develop, you can speed up their development a little bit on the roster, because you're not going to be asking a whole lot from them right off the bat. So I think it's Luke and Jakori at 5 and 6.
Lucas for sure being the 5. We've used our one voted off the island player that Adam Peters drafted on Dominique Hampton this year. So no other draft picks I see getting the snip already. But I think Jakori Brooks, we do this every year late. We always say, I'm not sure if this guy clears waivers. You think someone's snatching Brooks?
Man, the only way that kid don't clear waivers, because there's tape out there of him in practice doing things. The only way he did, in New England, he had a one-hand catch in the back of the end zone that was incredible. He's capable. That's the whole thing. I know, he still needs some seasoning and all that, and everyone understands that. But when a guy generates a buzz and he looks the part, somebody else out there is going to get him. And I say this because you know how the Eagles do business, bro. They'll go find somebody that they feel like is good enough to continue to develop, but at the same time pick that guy's brain for that playbook. So if you're Washington, unless you come up with a really good mysterious injury that came up all of a sudden to keep him stashed, I think he might need to be on the roster.
Yeah, I would not mind Jakori. I always said when it came to the 6 wide receiver spot on the team that, hold on, it sound good. I see people saying no sound. Sound is good on my end. Can you hear me fine?
I hear you.
I hear you perfectly. So the audio is 100% fine for me. I don't know what's going on with some of the people in the chat, but if we were going to keep a 6th receiver, it needs to be a young guy. I don't need to see KJ Osborne. He was released today. I don't need I don't need to see KJ Osborne, Michael Gallup, and definitely not Chris Moore, who couldn't catch a cold. So I would be down for Jakori Brooks making the 6th wide receiver spot.
Don't you feel like that's why KJ, that's why Chris, that's why those guys were released? Because Michael Gallup, because they're like, they don't need stopgaps. I wrote that in the article today that I posted, that they don't want stopgaps. It's either you're a star veteran, which they have in Terry and Debo, or we're going to develop guys that we really feel like can grow with Jayden. Jalen Lane's one of those guys. Luke's one of those guys. And now I think Jakori's one of those guys. I think he makes the roster. I totally understand some people's thoughts that you go out and you look at another receiver. But if some of those receivers were released, that's kind of telling you something right there.
Yep, they're released. And look at the way that Noah Brown was acquired last year. It was after roster cuts, it was he was released from Houston. Washington said, we'll take that. I've seen a couple guys so far that interest me, Trey Palmer, Malachi Corley, who's very young, who could potentially come in. A guy we were interested in that they were calling Baby Debo just 2 years ago.
Impact available, I think that who's a big physical receiver could be a guy, but I think you have that in Noah. I think Noah's your physical receiver. I really do.
Yep. And Noah, Jayden have a great chemistry, and that I'm not really concerned with chemistry when it comes to Noah Brown and Terry. I just want to make sure they are good to go, in good shape, and we don't have to worry about, knock on wood, any soft tissue injuries or anything like that. But it is Tuesday. It's roster cut down day. It is almost 2:00. I'm here with NFL insider that covers the Washington Commanders, Lake Lewis Jr. We're talking roster spots and who's making this final 53. We're going to continue doing so after a word from today's sponsor. I've been looking to find the best deal on Washington Commanders tickets for the 2025 season, which is why I want to give the sponsor of today's video, SeatGeek, a huge shout out. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sporting events, festivals, and more. The NFL is right around the corner, and MLB is in full swing. I love using SeatGeek. Recently used it, lock in my training camp tickets. Most notably, I was at the Grand National Tour with my son, Kendrick Lamar, and SZA at Northwest Stadium. SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 through 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And you know I had to come through for y'all using promo code RIO for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code RIO. RIO. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you again, SeatGeek, for sponsoring this video. Promo code RIO in the chat. Promo code RIO in the chat. Look in the description for the link for $20 off your next set of tickets from SeatGeek. We don't need to keep a third quarterback on this roster, do we, Lake?
No. Roster. That's where I could see them looking elsewhere. I mean, DeVito was released by the Giants. You know, I'm just saying, like, is he somebody that's ever going to hit the field for them? No, not at all. But you need somebody that can run scout and practice, you know, and do some things like that. And Sam right now, I mean, he is struggling bad.
He's very bad. That doesn't even look like a DC defender right now.
So, I mean, with that said, I know that's Jayden's dude, man, but come on, man. Jayden going to be fine regardless of who's out there and who's not.
He going to have another handshaker on the roster, I promise you.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it yet come across my thing or anything like that. Since we've been on, I was like, you know, for the next hour, I'm not going to know what's going on. You know, I'm getting my updates here from the team, but I haven't seen anything about Sam being cut yet or released. It's got to be coming. So.
Yep, it's got to. But yeah, if there's a third quarterback to be had on this team, they're not on the roster as we speak.
I told you. Josh has done some things okay, but Josh has also been in the league forever. He's 38 years old, you know, and he still struggles at times. So I think they're going to look, you know, somebody joked with me today on one of my messages.
Oh, Sam already got cut, by the way. Sam definitely already got cut, by the way.
So, okay, so yeah,
he's out of here. He's out of here.
I mean, I knew it was coming. So, yeah, so, and Josh is coming too. So, they're going to have to find someone, but they're not going to dress 3 quarterbacks. So, and Marcus is fine. Marcus has been ramping up the work and looks good. Was doing a lot pregame on Saturday at the stadium. So, I think that, again, I think they're going to be just fine with the 2 they knew that they were going to always have, and regardless.
Yep. And a summer where it didn't feel like a lot of guys took advantage of their opportunity to get a bigger look than probably anticipated. A guy like Ali Cahoe really made a case to be on this roster in 2025. I know at minimum that's a practice squad player, but he showed me enough linebacker traits in the little bit of preseason that I saw that made me feel like, I mean, I know we drafted a couple young guys in Kane Madrano and Jordan McGee, but this Cahoe guy looks like if he was put out there in a regular season game, he would not be too confused. Like, he looked like he could get with the speed of the NFL already.
Absolutely. I like him a lot. And he really took the bull by the horns, man. Like, every time he looked up, he was tackling someone. he was around the football, and he was getting there with intentions, you know. And I think for a player like that, those are the Dan Quinn type of players. Those are the players that they reward for busting their tail and coming out of nowhere. You need guys like that on your roster so that guys know that they're never safe. You know, that if somebody outworks you, they're playing over you. So I want to put him on the roster. The question is, do you keep, 6 linebackers? Do you keep 5? I think he's on the roster. That's unless something has happened since we've been on here for the last 30 minutes. I think he's making the roster.
So that's 6 if you count, because Nick Ballore does count as a linebacker, even though he's a special teams ace for this team. There's Wagner, that's Luvu, that's Madrano, that's McGee, that's Cahill, and that's Nick Ballore. That's 6 linebackers. That don't feel like a lot.
It doesn't, and that's what I'm saying. And Ballore, because of the special teams, is more special teams guy. So he could be the 6th linebacker technically, and Cahill could be your 5. I like. I like it, man. I'm just telling you. Every time I looked up in practice, every time in the games, he was at the football, and no one's running by him. You're getting hit, you're dropping. And again, he fits the Joe Witt, Dan Quinn mold of what they want. They want physical attack style players, and you got to keep them on there. You have to.
Yeah, that boy comes downhill with a vengeance. And the best thing that he has going for him, availability. Because Jordan McGee, a guy we drafted last year, we keep hearing rave reviews about him. I loved his energy on Saturday when he was actually on the field. The problem is we don't really see him on the field much.
Yeah, you're going to see him on the field if he's healthy. And he's healthy. He looks back. That dude's a firecracker. When I tell you a firecracker, he comes with real intentions, and he's their most athletic linebacker. Kane is uber athletic. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, maybe I should say Jordan has the potential to be their most complete linebacker as far as can cover, can tackle, can run sideline to sideline. He can do it all, and that's this linebacker room has really morphed into something.
Yep.
From a couple years ago, they were the worst linebacking unit in football.
Oh my God.
You look at it now, you got guys that will run you down and run you down with violence. And then they're led by one of the smartest guys, if not the smartest guy in the league on defense, and Bobby Wagner. So I think Jordan, you're gonna see a different football player this year. You're gonna see somebody that was on the fast track last year at this time, and then he got injured, and it derailed his rookie year pretty much. He came back and he was just on special teams, relegated to that. But last year at this time, he was looked at as the 3rd starter at linebacker. So now he's there now.
Lake, we know who's starting at left tackle. Laramie Tunzel, Brandon Coleman should be good to go. And they even snuck him in the game versus the Ravens for a little bit last week.
He's himself in that game. Let me tell you that. They weren't playing him, but he was like, I need to work. I need the reps. Remember, he missed all the last preseason. Mm-hmm. So he volunteered to do that. So that says a lot right there.
Yeah, that's crazy. They snuck him and Trey Amos on that football field on Saturday. I know that ain't who I think it is out there. Is that 23? I saw 23 and Coleman and Newton. Like, okay, they sneaking some of our important players out there. Go out there and break a sweat real quick.
Yeah, so I did see somebody asked as far as right guard, who's playing right guard. I've been saying it all along that Josh Connolly's starting at right tackle. I keep saying it. I think Andrew Wiley's going to be your starting right guard to start the season. I know Alec chance at it, but I think you just move Wiley over because he's played that position as well. He's played it at a high level. And then you just start Connolly at right tackle and call it a day until Sam comes back in a couple weeks.
Hey, Dan Quinn been kind of teasing us all summer about Cosme coming back a lot sooner. I'm thinking we getting him back mid-season, and Dan Quinn keeps saying, whoa, you got a little bit too much dip on your chip. That guy could be ready in September.
So I was all wrong about that because months ago I was like, there's no way this big man is even playing. If this year alone, that's literally what I was thinking. And I saw him around draft time, and I told him he looked good, but he had a little hitch. Mm-hmm. Saw him a month later, I didn't see a hitch. You see him now, that Joker is chiseled. He looks like he's in the best shape I've ever seen Big Sam in, and he's moving well. He's doing well. Let's just say he's moving well. And yeah, he's back. He's gonna be all right. So I just think from precautionary reasons, they're gonna make sure of it. So I think week 5, that's my prediction. That's when Sam comes back.
I always just assume when it's a late season or playoff injury, if it's a lineman, I don't even think about the possibility of a fast recovery. When it's a skilled player, after the Adrian Peterson ACL tear, it's like you almost need to tear your ACL to have a good knee at this point, because these dudes are coming back from it. It felt like in a few weeks, but I was expecting to go through half of this season without Sam Cosmi. Sam Cosmi looks like he's eager to get out there, and Dan Quinn has let us know. He didn't need to let us know as many times as he have that he's going to be ready earlier than people anticipate.
Yeah, Big Sam played for some bad teams, and then last year they get in this run, get to the NFC Championship, and he got hurt against Detroit. So he couldn't even experience playing in the NFC Championship. And I'm sure that kind of stuff fueled him. He knows that this is an open window for this team to get to a Super Bowl and maybe win it. And he wants to be a part of that, and then I think also he looks at the fact they went out, brought in Laramie Tunsil for the left side. They drafted Josh Connolly for the right. Tyler, to me this year, could be a Pro Bowl center. They've got a lot of things. Brandon's moving into where he's naturally a fit. Their offensive line has a chance, especially when Sam comes back. By the end of the year, we could be talking about the Commanders' offensive line. Need I hold my breath saying this? Mm-hmm. Maybe you could be talking about them in that tier with the Lions and Eagles line. That's how talented these guys are, and you have a quarterback in Jayden that's going to make them look even better, and they're already going to be good. So Washington's just revamped the trenches overnight right in front of us.
Yep. And imagine a world where Jayden Daniels was carrying this team the way he was last year, with a formidable line, a good enough line. You upgraded both tackle spots and at left guard, because Brandon Coleman's playing the spot where he naturally should be playing at. That also spells JD5 MVP season loading. And we're going to be talking about that every time we talk about this team for the 2025 season, man. I'm looking at the defensive tackle position. Payne and Kinlaw and Johnny are going to be your 3 rotating in. You might as well say we got 3 starters in that room. Another guy, I feel like Sheldon Day plays so damn hard. That's someone I usually count in the room. Do you feel like him or Eddie Goldman, or maybe even both, fill out that room?
I think both of them fill the room out. I know they like what they've seen from him. He's only on a 1-year deal. So, if there is a guy that you could move and, because of a contract, that could be the guy. But he's played well. See, I think by them getting rid of Cleveland, I think they're looking at the versatility, say like Von Miller, could come on the end, but he's also, listed as a linebacker technically. We know he's not. He's a pass rusher. He's an edge rusher. But I think that they're looking at versatility, and but you still need a space eater in the middle. Because look at Javon. Javon Kinlaw is a guy that can play in the middle, but he also can move on the edges as well. So I think Sheldon makes it. I know they like the guy a lot. That's my dude, man. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And he plays hard. He does. He plays hard. And you look at Sheldon and you're like, he doesn't look the part at times. But every time you look up, Sheldon's making a play.
And then like he just looked funny in the uniform. That's just a weirdly built man, but he gets after it, and he has one of the highest motors in that room, man.
He has one of the highest IQs. That's a Notre Dame grad, you know what I'm saying? So
makes sense.
Just a smart player, and that's what they want. They want intelligence as well. Again, these are those tough decisions that when you're a good football team, you have these kind of decisions you have to make.
Yep. That's what happens when things change. When things change in the house, you have problems like we have too many guys at here. We got too many guys there. Cornerback room, we pretty much know how that's going to play. The only thing that can alter it is if we trade Noah Igbinoghene. I don't think we're really going to get the value that people think that we could get for Noah Igbinoghene. I know the age and the position value could push it up a little bit, but I'd like having him and Jonathan Jones here rather than just one of the two. I like to have two guys that, if need be, could come in and start whenever. Jonathan Jones, we've not really seen or heard too much of him, and he's been a little banged up this summer. Is that something we need to be worried about going into the season, Lake?
No, I think again another veteran that they know what he's capable of doing. They know why they went out and brought him in. And I don't necessarily think they brought him in to replace Noah. I think they brought him in to help the development of Mikey in the slot, because Jonathan's been really good in the slot in New England. So I think it's a combination of that veteran guy that can help, some of the younger players and also still play good ball. So he's helping Noah. Noah's he hasn't had a bad camp. I know in the games they were targeting him left and right because he was out there the whole time. So he's a good young football player, and he's only 25 years old. So I'd like to see them keep all of those corners. But do you keep 5 corners? Like, I mean,
yes.
Yeah, I mean,
you kind of have to, because like Jonathan Jones or Noah, they're mostly inside cornerback. Who the hell is the boundary replacement other than just plugging one of them there?
Yeah, I mean, and so Noah's a guy that can also play on the outside too, by the way. So I think that's his versatility is what's going to be his saving grace. Again, and he also can do teams as well. So I have him on my roster on my final list. I know today the talk came up as far as trades. What are you going to trade him for? Another corner? Because you can't give up your 5th corner. Right. You need him. So they're not trading him.
I don't see that happening either. Hey, my boy Scotty, my Woodbridge brethren in the building. What's up, Rio and Lake? Good to see y'all this fine afternoon, and good seeing you out there at the Commanders King live event from Crystal City Sports Pub on Sunday. Lake, we had us a time out there, man. You gotta pull up on us on the next one, man.
I'm there, man. Let me know. I'll do everything I can to make it. And I did want to tell you, brother, I'm so proud of you, man, because you're doing your thing, man. You doing what you love. You're doing what's in your heart, and bruh, you putting smiles on people's faces. I mean, damn, what's wrong with that?
Man, I'm finally living in my purpose, and I love this, man. I love the community we're building here, and this fan base, the way that we all come together to share this sick love for this team that we have. It's a beautiful sight. So to take that in with my brother Scotty and everybody else that pulled up, we had some technical difficulties on the streaming it online side of things. We're gonna have that buttoned up for the next event, but it was all love in the build. Bro, we came out with pyro.
Yeah, look at the video you sent, and that was, bro, when you said that, I'm like, what are you doing this outside? Y'all doing this inside. So it was on fire up in there.
Yeah. It was not 4th of July, but we came out with fireworks and intro music like this was SummerSlam or WrestleMania.
Man. I mean, seriously, brother, just to see, young cats that look like me doing this, it makes me proud, man, because, I'll say it, I'm the only one up in the building covering them, and I know there should be more without question. So to see you guys doing the thing in your realm, in your world, and doing it at a high clip where you have that kind of fandom, man, just kudos to you and the other 3 brothers that were out there doing it with you.
Yep. Shout out Louis T, Rico, and Ed Oliver. Shout out my brother Gerard, man. New Commanders content creator. He said, always appreciate the support. Road to 1K. Make sure y'all subscribe to my guy as well. And also subscribe to Lake Lewis. Follow him up and pay attention to everything he's doing, because every year he's leveling up and adding more things to his repertoire as well over there on that side. But does Washington, you're there every day. And I want to calm the fan base down because they're all ready to crash out about a position that I don't even want to talk about late. Do we have a kicker problem, or is Matt Gay fine at practice?
Man, I think they need to go find somebody to compete against him.
No, Lord, you're not supposed to say that, Lake. You're supposed to say, nah, he been hitting them in practice. No.
Nah, man. Listen, I mean, this is the part where, you know, people would say I was hating on Terry, but yet I can't say anything about Matt.
Oh man, no, please tell us the truth, Lake.
Stuff. He's been missing kicks,
Oh, no.
and he's been missing kicks in practice, and so I've said this. Does it warrant him being cut? No. But does it warrant them bringing someone in to see if he needs to be cut? Yes. And I still think that they should have brought another kicker in. I just think that position, that's just my philosophical, difference with the team right now on that. I'm always going to have 2-3 kickers in camp, battling it out, because iron sharpens iron. And at that position, you need that. My only frame of thinking, the reason why they haven't done it, 2 reasons. Maybe they don't want to totally shoot this guy's confidence out the window, throw it out the window. But it doesn't seem like he's got any to throw out right now. And then the second thing is, I think they feel like maybe they're going to be outscoring people, so they don't even need to worry about a guy that's going to be kicking extra points. Maybe that's how they look at it.
So is it a like, we gave him such a high guarantee, so we kind of just have to live with that type of situation? Or is it just that we can't have him kick from 50 yards plus?
But that's his strength. He's got a cannon of a leg, and
but his accuracy is he doesn't miss inside 50. The only misses you really see on him every year is above 50 yards. Like, he got the leg, but the accuracy on 50 plus, that's his weakness.
Right. So they're hoping and praying that, but see, this is the thing. Knowing Cliff, knowing this offense, knowing Dan, how they gamble and go on 4th down. If you have 4th and 2 from the 25, 4th and 2 from the 30, you're going for it. That's just how they roll. So I just think that he absolutely needs to be more consistent. They're going to have to make sure this week in practice, and we will be looking hard tomorrow, Thursday. Then we've got like 4 days off. Thank God again. I've been living out. Yeah, I'm going to be looking hard the next couple of days, because it's crunch time now. Yep. Those missed field goals could be the difference of a win against a Giants team, or who the game's going to be tough naturally. It's a divisional game. I don't care what the expectations are. It's going to be a tough football game, and you're going to need everyone at their A game to pull that out.
Yeah, man. God, I just wanted kicker to not be. I do not like to talk about specialists. I don't like to talk about kickers, punters, long snapper. When a specialist has to be spoken about on this channel, it drives me crazy, because we're talking about the non-football players on the team. You got one job to do, damn it. Make your kicks. We had 7 kickers last year. The last thing I want to talk about in the 2025 season is the kicker that we gave the most guaranteed money a kicker's got at signing not being able to make kicks. So I guess week 1 will tell us a whole lot about it, but it sounds like the 2024 Commanders, we're going to be 4th down warriors. And when you have a cheat code like number 5 at quarterback, you can live that dangerous.
Yeah, and the way the league has changed kickoffs again. Now, you kick it out, kick it through the end zone, you get the ball to 35. They're going to keep moving that thing up and up enough to sooner or later people are going to be getting the ball at midfield. And then that way you won't need kickers. You could just eliminate them altogether. I think Washington's going to be in plenty of positions where you're going to ask, do you kick the field goal from the 35? Do you kick the field goal from the 40? Or do you just go for it? And I think they're going to go for it more than they kick.
I do too. And I'm good with that, because I trust Cliff, and boy, do I trust that guy that wears a number 5 on his jersey, man. Gerard, appreciate you one more time for the $10 super chat donation. Finally, let me give you some proper love. Just wanted to say, sub us all up. We all on the road to, you're on the road to 1,000. We got to get you 1,000. We got to get you monetized and going this season. Looking forward to collabing with both Rio and Lake on the channel. We can do that very soon. Considering that there is no game this week, this would be a good week to holler at me. I don't know about you, Lake. Holler at me in the next couple days, and I should have some time to hop on other channel. So if y'all got some requests for me to come on your channel, hit my email, ramblingwrio@gmail.com. Let's work something out over these next couple days, man. We're talking about real football next week, Lake.
Real football is here. training camp is cool and all. You get a chance to see some young guys and see how they develop in front of you. But it's nothing like getting ready for the real thing. It's nothing like it. And it's nothing like it getting ready for the real thing when you have a team that has Super Bowl aspirations. It's on, man. It's on. It's on. I seen you lost the weight. I've lost like 20 pounds. I'm telling you, man, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for all of this year.
Ready, man. And shout out to the person at the live event who gave me this shirt. They said it says Swole Patrol on it. They said congrats on losing the weight. Appreciate you, my guy, for the t-shirt and everybody that dropped off something and everybody that we gave stuff to. Like I gave out a couple Jayden jerseys that don't fit me anymore. We gave out a B-Rob jersey, a Riggins jersey, a Terry signed. We had a Terry signed Jayden Daniels jersey to the guy that was on the drums for the show. It was such a good vibe out there on Sunday, man. I love just bringing the fan base together. We got to do something like that, me and you again too.
Absolutely, brother. I mean, I think it's something that we definitely can get taken care of. And I definitely like to come swing through with you guys and just, I don't even have to come up. I just want to just support you guys because you're doing a great thing, man.
Hell yeah, man. I love this. And that's why Lake is a real one, We're not trying to necessarily be disruptors of what you guys do. You guys are the media. We get our information from you. But, it could be a little funny in those rooms, right?
Oh my God, bro. Get me started, man. It's funny in the same room with people. But my thing has always been I'm blessed. I've worked for this. And no one's going to ever derail me from doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's how you roll, And I remember years ago when I met you, you had mentioned to me that, you just wanted to sit down and talk and pick my brain or whatever. And I told you, I got you. I told you, and this was 4 or 5 years ago. And we did the rooftop joint. And I told you, as long as I go, I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure you go. But you've been doing this on your own. I'm not going to even sit here and act like I did this. You've done this on your own. And if I can do anything to help, just keep helping you on your growth and on your journey, I'll do that all day.
Man, that's my guy. You're a solid one. I remember we ran into each other in Richmond. That's when it all started, man. We used to do the thing and stop smacking in DC. But always going to get real insight from our guy, Lake Lewis Jr. I had a question for you. Someone asked about Miss Janine. How's Lake's ladies doing? Janine got any insights on the new field designs, upgrades for the start of the regular season?
Yeah, she's doing great. I told her, I'm going to have her on my next stand-up from the field. The Giants game, I'm going to have her on with me.
Okay.
She's at the TV station now, and she'll be back here for dinner, which I make sure when I'm home, I make dinner. So, she's doing great.
Good man.
Of course, I like to cook though. So yeah, but she's doing great, and I will let her know that someone asked about her. But yeah, I'm sure she does have some really good insights and all that good stuff. So yeah, it should be fun.
Shout out to Miss Janine. But Lake, let people know where they can find you, follow you, and if you got anything special coming up anytime soon.
Yeah, man, you can follow me multiple places. On social media. The first thing you follow me at Lake Lewis Jr. You can subscribe to my shows, the radio/pod, the Lake Lewis Jr. show. Subscribe to it on all the major podcast carriers. You can subscribe and watch it on YouTube at the Lake Lewis Jr. Channel. And then you can listen to it on Radio 1. It will be back. You can check out some of my work on NFL work on heavy.com. It's Heavy Sports, a subsidiary of the league that I'm writing for. Starting in September, I'll be on ESPN Radio. And it has some coverage for the league. So yeah, man, I'm happy, man. I'm blessed. And like I said, I try to stay busy as possible.
Yeah, man. Always, man. Lake's always giving it the real way. He's always doing it right, and he's always holding it down.
I also got to say, I'm also the insider for CBS 6 Sports here in Richmond. So,
Okay.
So can't forget them as well.
Okay, love to hear it, man. Lake busy guy this time of year. Next week when we do this, we're going to be previewing week 1 Giants at Commanders 1 p.m. on Fox, and we're getting the Fox A crew of Brady and Burkhart and company next week, man. I appreciate you as always for coming on and rocking with your guy.
Oh, anytime, brother. Anytime you need me on, but keep doing your thing, man. Real proud of you, brother.
Back at you, man. Appreciate you, Lake.
All right, take care.
Yes, sir. Abel Ambrosio, appreciate you for the 9 months of channel membership. Salute to Rio and Lake. Super Bowl this year. Super Bowl aspirations should be all that we are talking about in the 2025 season. We dropped the last infinity stone on the gauntlet, getting Terry paid yesterday. Do we start talking Laramie Tunsil contract sometime soon? Laramie Tunsil extension, anybody? We got 863 in the chat on a Tuesday afternoon. It is NFL cut down day. And Chris Moore got the snip. I wish we would have got it I wish Chris Moore was the first name we released in all of 2025, because that is one of the worst Commanders wide receivers I've ever seen come here, man. Rio, it was my birthday yesterday. Same day Terry got signed. Let me get a happy birthday shout out. Happy birthday shout out to my guy, 1991 RX7. 1991 is a phenomenal year. I was born in October 91. So you're definitely getting a birthday shout out. Happy belated, my friend. And maybe your birthday is a good omen because it happened to be the day that Terry. They said we did some type of voodoo ritual at the Commanders King live event, and that's what got Terry paid, man. I don't want to take that kind of credit, but you know what I mean? Jeremiah, you said you tried your hardest to sit through that stream on Sunday. I'm sorry that it didn't. Our sound guy, you know, we had to have a little talk with him because we can't have that happen ever again. But I appreciate all the love, everybody that's been liking up and showing love to the videos we drop with the intros and all that. Let me run a couple stuff on here real quick. Let me put up some of the for those of you who didn't get to enjoy the event at home because we had Temu audio quality. Let me put out some of these pictures and some of these videos that we got from the event because we did it big. So on photography, we had Abdullah Kanti, who's a photographer for the team. We had one of the Commanders photographers on photography. The one who took the picture of Jayden hurdling versus the Bears in the all black when the guy was chasing him from behind, he was our photographer for the event. You know, the Kings do it big. We get NFL photographers to come. We had a videographer on it. Shout out to Rocky D. My young boy Justin on the drums going crazy all night. We came out WWE style with fireworks inside a bar. They look like a bunch of sparklers, but we all had our own intro music the whole night. Let me pull some of this up on the screen just to bring some of these vibes to y'all, man. Let me pull some of this up on the screen, man. That was such. I'm still high from the love in that building on Sunday night. Like, look at these. First of all, shout out to Mr. Pink. Shout out to Mr. Pink. Mr. Pink came through looking like he was running for office in a damn suit with a Commander's tie on, came up to us and said, the Kings got to have their jewelry. I got Washington Redskins Super Bowl rings for all of y'all. I believe someone got a Theismann. I don't know the other two players. The ring he gave me was a John Riggins. Matter of fact, give me 1 second. I'll go get that shit right now. 1 second. Kings got rings, baby. Kings got rings thanks to my guy, Mr. Pink. Shout out to Mr. Pink, man. Held it down, came through with some jewelry for us. That shit was a vibe, man. That's joint. I didn't realize till later on, like, oh, this is an actual championship ring. You see the NFC sign, you see Riggins, you see the number on it, the logo, all that stuff, man. That was fire, man. And just look at the photography. Look how crispy that shit is. They got us looking like JD5 and company out there. This was us after we did our intro. So just to give y'all a little in-person, behind-the-scenes lens of what was taking place here, we all got introed out, hometowns, nicknames, all that good stuff. We picked our intro music. We walked past fireworks and a guy on the drums with the lights low like a real WWE intro. And when we completed it, we lined up. And Louis went to each of us, crowned us, hit him with the Wakanda salute, went through the line, huddled up. Kings on 3, Kings on me. 1, 2, 3, Kings. Let's start the show. It was some real live ball player shit. Like, we were all living out our best high school pipe dream that day. So that was crazy, man. That was crazy. Trust me, we heard this so many times on Sunday. Apparently, y'all all think that we're 5'5" in person. Everyone thinks Rico is skinny. Everyone still don't believe me and think I'm still fat. And no one believes that we're like all over 6 feet tall. Like, Lou out there built like Chris Moore. Ed Oliver built like a small forward in the NBA. Rico is built like Bashal Tootin with some height to him. And I'm also 6 feet tall myself. So do you know how many times, I guess when you're just sitting at a chair, we look like we're all 5'4" or some shit. Damn, you're tall. Hey, you're like tall. And you're not like big anymore. Like, that shit was so funny, man. What a good time, man. What a good time, bro. Like, everybody kept coming up to, yo, why are y'all all like have decent size? Like, hey, yo, relax. Man, just look at the pics, man. It was such a vibe out there. And boy, did the crowd show out. Boy, did the crowd show out for us on Sunday up there, man. What a good time, man. What a good look, bro. Every one of us got new headers, new profile pictures. Shout out to Abdullah one more time. Dula Vision. I dropped this video earlier today, a little highlight reel of just me talking crazy shit at the show. So y'all couldn't hear any of the show. So here, have some show right now.
Views and opinions of Rio Robinson do not directly reflect the views and opinions of the Commanders Kings. Let's get that out the way early.
Jalen Hurts is Alex Smith with melanin. He is Alex Smith with 360 waves and a do-rag. It's the same player.
Hey, Ben Johnson is one of the best offensive coordinators in this league, but he has Asperger's syndrome. He has Asperger's syndrome, and he's liable to throw Caleb under the bus at any week now. That boy can't wait to put Tyler Bagent in the game.
Call that man Tyler. That man's name is Tyson. That's what alcohol do.
Commanders Kings inaugural live event. Thank y'all for pulling up and supporting me, Louis T, Ed Oliver, and Rico from Free Score.
These cookies. I told you I was bringing cookies.
They go Lou with them damn cookies.
None of that bullshit tonight, I promise you. I promise you.
I can vouch for them too. They actually
Them cookies good as shit for real.
They good. I promise.
Cowboys fan.
Hold up.
She's a Cowboys fan, and she used to play for the DC Divas.
Cowboy fan? Got him. Y'all already know what this is. Baby Cinco.
Hey, man, the drummer was so good, bro. Hey.
Shout out to the lady that couldn't name 10 players.
Hey, Ed ain't shit, bro.
I'm not sure about that.
Ed be flagrantly giving it to folks,
Scary to wear his
man.
jersey in here too.
Real flagrant with it. We so damn extra, man.
I also want to announce that if this team is what we think it is, and it's a watch party coming.
Yes, sir.
King style.
All of us.
King style.
All of us.
King style. There's a watch party coming. King style.
Week 16.
On a Saturday.
Thank you.
We're going to turn up for all of y'all. So I ask y'all, is there any team on the schedule that you want to bust their ass more than the Philadelphia Eagles.
Cheers to a trip to Levi Stadium in February for the goddamn Super Bowl, baby. Let's go.
Hit my email. We can do that. Man, I had to bring y'all some of this, man. Like, I feel so bad because I was never trying to be on some fuck the chat type shit. I had to keep the show rolling when Lou was troubleshooting the audio issues with the sound crew. So we started the show and immediately had to stop, but people are there watching. So I had to keep the ball rolling for the people there. Y'all know we love every single one of y'all. And next time we do one of these shows, we will make sure the audio is as crispy as a cream donut when we start doing it. But man, we had us a good ass time. Like we said, Week 16 versus Philly, we will be definitely having a watch party. But here's the thing. We're trying to work something out. I can't give you too much details right now, but we're trying to work something out to get a watch party, Commander King style, the first half of the season. We're working it out. As soon as we have something, I will let you guys know immediately. And if it is exactly what we were talking about over the last couple days, it's some really exciting extra us type shit. Like, not only we're talking watch party, we're talking watch party with a theme type shit, with a little holiday sprinkled in. But we'll see. We're gonna have something real soon. I gotta go to Lou's page. You know what I'm saying? Let me I don't know what my search history on Twitter look like right now. So let me take this off the screen real quick while I go up and look. I might have something crazy in there, you know. I'm a wild boy and my brain's a little unhinged, so I don't really know what's in my search bar right now. So just a second. I gotta pull up the quick video of our intros, and Lou has that on Twitter. Oh, just like me, Lou with the cleanest profile pic. All right, we can pull it back up now. We can pull it back up now. Look at Lou. Look at Louis T's profile. Hey, I told Dula, you know how fast we finna switch our headers and our profile pics. Look at this man's Kodak smile. Look at Louis T and look at this Bill Goldberg pose with his hand up. He looked like a goddamn freedom fighter standing in between. Dog, Abdullah made us look so goddamn cool. Dula Vision, you're a legend, bro. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like being shot by an NFL photographer at a bar on a Sunday night. This is crazy, bro. Lou came out. And then he shushed the crowd. He brought the sound down and then led people into singing I Got Five on it. That shit was epic, bro. He came out with the vocals. I'm singing the regular song. He's singing his remix. But it was a good time, man. It was a good time. Left hand up. He was there. My boy DJ Woody O'Goody was in the building, by the way. But let me pull up. Without sound, I'm not playing sound because there's copyrighted music on this, and I am staying as far as I can from copyright police for as long as possible. Let me pull this up and let me shut it the hell up real quick. So just to let y'all see what it looked like when we was coming out from an intro standpoint. This is what our intros when we were called out starting five style looked like on Sunday. Hey, hold on. Let me get the comments off the screen real quick. Let me get the comments off the screen. Start from the top. Let's get it. Hey. This is what it looked like, man. This was lit. We came out 90s Bulls style, man. I had to go holler at the crowd. Go see what everybody was talking about, what the move was like. They go Big Ed, big 6'7" Ed with his size 17 shoe. Ed's Air Force Ones look like a damn war weapon. Them joints big as shit. Big stepper for real in the literal sense. Crown them, Wakanda. Crown them, Wakanda. Kings on 3, kings on me. 1, 2, 3, kings. Oh, man, this was so fire, man. This was so fire. Let it run one more time. I'm going to let it run one more time since we didn't get to give y'all a goddamn actual show that y'all could hear. We was out here sounding like Chip and Dale. We was out there sounding like a karate flick where the audio ain't match up. But this is what the vibes was looking like in there Sunday night from Crystal City Sports Pub. What a time was had. A time was had, and I got my only alcohol intake that we're going to have for all of 2025. Crystal City Sports Pub, definitely. I don't know who was putting drinks on my tab, but I ordered myself one drink, and somehow 5 popped up on my final. Hey, listen, y'all want to hold down the king. Send a nigga a drink. Don't add it to my tab. I think it was a mistake, but I was so damn faded. I didn't even question it until I got home. Oh, man. Rio's intro looked like he just got finished whooping Taysom Hill. Hell yeah, because I came out the TV off by Kendrick, so I had to come out hitting a little Kendrick two-step on him real quick, RF for the cameras a little bit. But Ed looked like he was the one who traded B-Rob. Ed be hitting people with chair shots out of nowhere. Like, fam, when he said that shit to the Cowboys fan, like, oh yeah, this lady couldn't even name 10 Cowboys play. Like, it came so out of nowhere, and just our 4 energies just colliding in person with the energies feeding directly from the crowd. Phenomenal time, man. Phenomenal times. We was wilding. We was having a good time. Tay Martin has been cut. The rest of the roster will be trimmed. I will be back on the channel later today, just to let y'all know. NFC East Roundtable, NFC East Family Reunion. We back. Me, Nicky Nick, Championship, y'all's favorite Eagles fan, and my boy DMV Fanatic. We are going to be doing NFC East Roundtable tonight at 8 p.m. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the channel. We're going to start talking that NFC East shit. And it's going to be good because we all play each other next week. The Cowboys are playing the Eagles to start the year. The Giants are coming to D.C. So it's going to be a phenomenal, phenomenal time. Talk y'all shit to these other teams. Do not hold back. Let's get it started, man. Rico started clapping like he won the election. He damn sure did, man. He damn sure did. There's a lot of players out there. I'm sure whatever the roster looks like at the end of cutdown day is not what it's going to look like in the long term. But that's all I got for right now. I thank everybody who pulled up. Y'all filled the chat like we already in regular season mode. Next week, we go into game mode. We got our first game preview. We're going to have former and recently retired offensive lineman of the Giants, Justin Pugh, coming on to preview the game. And we're going to have a week stockpile full of content. It's year 2 of Jayden Daniels and company. MVP season loading. We about to get active, baby. I am so excited to do another event after Sunday, and I promise you we're going to have it streamed crispier for y'all next time. Thank y'all for getting this channel to 20,000 subscribers, for getting Commanders Kings to 6,000, and for supporting the things that we do, because it's a very unconventional life to be a fan that makes content for a living. Y'all make this shit possible. I appreciate all of y'all. This channel goes because of y'all. I will talk to y'all a little bit later. I'll be on the NFC East Roundtable channel on Roundtable Sports at 6, and then I'll be back on my channel tonight with Nicky Nick, Chip, and the DMV Fanatic to talk Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders, Giants. And we're going to be having some quarterback rankings. We're going to be having some bold prediction, all that shit. Rico will be drinking instead of me at the next party. I don't drink. I drank with y'all one time. Y'all will never see me drink with you again, or I'm going to have to be wheelbarrowed out of the facilities. But that's all I got for right now. Blessings on the rest of your Monday. I'm about to go hit the gym with Lil Man and get ready for this content tonight, man. Yes, sir. Talk soon. Hail to the